If there is a business, there's a problem. You call it opportunities, you call it challenges, you call it, some people call it problems. I call it opportunities. I call it, learning opportunity, growth opportunity, basically expansion opportunity. So there is not such a thing is called that there is no problem. No, problems are there. That's why we are in business, and thank God that I'm there to be in the management, that I regard myself as a management guru. I'm there to resolve them. I mean, not all there is a big, I think there's a very huge team that I have who resolves all these problems on a daily, or challenges or opportunities on a daily basis. So when there is a business, that means problem, that means challenges, that means opportunity. There is not such a thing. So I love the challenges. I love the opportunity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business of Learning podcast. My name is Joao Camargo, and my guest here today is Sohail Pirzada, who is the chairman and CEO at Mid-Cities Psychiatry. Sohail, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have this. I'm excited to have this conversation. Why don't we start off with you just telling everyone a little bit more about yourself, about Mid-Cities Psychiatry, who you are, who you help, and any context you'd like to share about the business.
Sure, absolutely. I'm the chairman and CEO of Mid-Cities Psychiatry. We are located here in Euless, Texas, and we are an outpatient psychiatric clinic. We do meds management, Suboxone, control meds, therapy, all kinds of different therapies. Then we do. We have also a psychologist. We do different types of tests. For this. For the patients. What they are looking for. In addition to that, we also do number of therapies for patients who cannot get better with the with the regular medications, or talk therapy or psychotherapy. So for that, we have TMS therapy. We have esketamine, also known as Spravato nasal spray. We also do IM ketamine, and pretty soon enough we will be starting IOP. So number of all of these services. There are very few clinics across the country, and there are few like that, like us, other in the country, but very few who offer so many mental health services, behavioral health services, or psychiatric services under one roof. And our patients truly appreciate the fact, because the collaboration is very high in our clinic, and patients appreciate that they don't have to go from clinic to clinic for different types of mental health care. So we do provide that, and they really love it.
Awesome. And talk to me a little bit more about the founding idea. What was the reason why this thing started in the first place?
Why this started in the first place? The fact of the matter is that there is a high demand for mental health services. In fact, I was not in this business at all. I was kind of thrown into this situation. I regard myself as a mental health, not mental health, I'm sorry, management guru. I, can take anything, and I can manage, things of that nature. So when this thing came about in my family, my wife, started this with another entity, and that did not go well. So she was, struggling. And so in the beginning, I said, okay, let me see what I can do on a very, very higher level. So I had my own real estate business. I had my team Sohail. So, but then, slowly and gradually, there was a situation where we used to see, or this Mid-Cities Psychiatry used to see 5 patients a week. 5 patients a week. Yes. So when I was asked to come and help on a very, very higher level, so to speak, in terms of, since I'm a master's in manufacturing with concentration in computer science and industrial engineering, I was just, helping, like a tech support type of a situation.
Yeah.
When my time allows me, computer fix, or, some, printer issue, or, some higher level, payroll or something like that. So very, very, part-time, very, just whenever I have time. But slowly and gradually, when I was asked to assist, I said, well, I'm a type of a person who is a growth-oriented type of a personality.
Awesome.
So if I'm coming into this picture, it will be all action and all growth.
Mm.
So slowly and gradually, I got involved into this more and more. And long story short, right now we see about over 200 patients a day.
Wow.
Of course, by the grace of God, we have like, 17, 18 providers, and we have, offer all these services. And this is how I got into it. It's just a coincidence that I
Uh-huh.
got involved into this. My strength is management.
Mm.
And when this thing came about, I learned, what is RCM, what is patient access team, what is eligibility verification,
Yeah.
what is, credentialing, what is, all that, that goes about. So by the grace of God, right now we have a dedicated teams, for every outpatient clinic, can imagine. And,
Mm-hmm.
so we create the expectations with our team, and our respective departments, does everything, and they take pride in what they do. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have a system in place, highly collaborative, highly methodical, highly procedural. In fact, we just received a JCOOK certification. That's a gold seal,
Mm.
that is given to, entities, especially medical entities who are doing, business in a very methodical and procedural and, compliant way. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, when the inspector came to visit us to do the inspection for our JACO certification, he said, "You are one of the few clinics I have been to who is so well organized and so
Mm.
procedural and methodical." So we were very pleased to hear that. So of course, we got the gold seal, and this is what happened. So we take pride in what we do here.
Very, very cool. I always love to hear the stories of like how things came about, even if sometimes it wasn't intentional, as it is for your case, where things just started to kind of the snowball effect started to
Yeah,
roll through. But then your
yeah.
skills are, of course, they allowed everything to work in the way where now the growth is coming, and we'll talk about the business growth as well. But things just start to fall into place. So thank you for sharing that. I'm curious to hear as well. Are there some common patterns for the patients who are coming in for things that they either are experiencing or certain symptoms that they might have that shows them that they would be in need or should be searching for some type of psychiatric solutions as you guys are providing there as well? Is there like some common things or the most common things that happen for these patients to come in?
Uh, this is an outpatient psychiatric clinic. Very good question, though. Very, very good question. This is an outpatient psychiatric clinic. So not
Mm-hmm.
all the patients who are coming here are all voluntary. Basically, what I mean, the voluntary, we have to have their permission, their consent. They are
Mm-hmm.
not committed. I mean, there are clinics, there are facilities across in the world or across the country where, God bless everybody, and they sometimes, some these situations are committed. Meaning to say they are forced to remain in their medical psychiatric facility. So
Okay.
we are an outpatient psychiatric clinic, meaning to say that every patient who walks in is a voluntary patient. In
Yep.
fact, even when a patients are referred to us from other medical entities or hospitals or other medical facilities, we do not make appointments until we talk to the patient. We have to have their consent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and the kind of common symptoms, basically, and we also, ask them to assess themselves.
Yeah.
We have certain, self assessment tools available for them to assess whether they suffer from this or whether they suffer from that. And then, we tell them, hey, I mean, if this is the range coming, if your result is coming in this range, your score is coming in this range, it may be a good idea to seek a professional help, you know.
Mm.
And so we have those tools available that those are available, readily available on, on the World Wide Web, but also, we provide them, our site and as well. So essentially, yeah, depression, anxiety, PTSD, all that things are very common. Sometimes, not times, but number of times we get patients who says that I'm not properly diagnosed.
Okay.
I've been going to this clinic. Because one thing that we don't do here, that we are not a prescription printing a prescription printing type of a clinic. We
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. In fact, even during the COVID situation, when a lot of when there was a PHE, public health emergency was declared, and a lot of rules and regulations when it comes to compliance of prescribing the controlled meds, so
Mm-hmm.
to speak. You don't have to have a toxicology test and like that. You can still, some doctors were prescribing or online prescribing these prescriptions. We
Yeah.
never relaxed our rule. We never once relaxed our protocol, not even once.
Mm.
Because number one, we felt that if we go to relax the environment, I mean, I don't think we will be doing favor to the patients, the patient care. What if we are prescribing this medication? Maybe patient is selling it. God forbid, sometimes it happens. Maybe patient is getting this medication from more than one source. Maybe this patient is, using some, drugs which are not, legal to use. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the most the very important thing for us was the patient care. We wanted patient to get better. So
Mm-hmm.
we always, complied. We always wanted the patient to have the toxicology done, before we can
Mm-hmm.
prescribe or, in a timely fashion. So this
Mm-hmm.
is very important for us that we do the things which are right, which are correct. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So, I mean, this is something that we take again. We take pride in, and we want to make sure that the patients get better, and
Yeah.
that's why we do things the way we do.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you guys are doing what you're doing for the patients so that they can improve, so you can have a better impact, so that their
Because
lives can
there
be
are,
better, right?
Jean, believe you me, there are clinics out there. I mean, I know. I mean, like for example, when providers come to interview me or interview me, and I interview them to hire them, basically. And because we are a pragmatically growth oriented company, if you ask Mid-City Psychiatry's what is the characteristic or what is the character of Mid-City Psychiatry, I'll say, it is a pragmatically growth oriented company. It's a
Mm-hmm.
pragmatically growth oriented clinic. So when they come, they say, oh, we can see 30 patients, 40 patients, 50 patients in a given. And I wonder, how is that possible?
Hmm.
I mean, I interviewed a person not too long ago. They said, hey, I will see 35, 40 patients a day. You will make more money. I will make more money. Give me this money. I said, how will you do that?
Hmm.
How will you do that? Because, they don't even lift their head when they are looking at the patient, seeing the patient. They just write the prescription. Boom, boom, next, next, next. And we don't do that. It's
Yeah.
very, very important for us that patient care is very important for us. And that's why we do, uh, what we do. And compliance is very, very important. Patient care is very important.
Yeah.
Collaboration is very important.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think it's key to highlight the purpose of it all as well, because sure, at the end of the day, it is a business, but if you take care of the patients, the business will take care of itself, right? As opposed to just trying to make the money as in whatever way possible. And I would love
Making
to
money. No, making money is a secondary thing. Is a
exactly,
byproduct.
exactly,
Exactly the way you're saying it, what you're saying. Money, making the money or getting the money is the secondary thing, is a byproduct. If you
yeah.
do the thing right to begin with, the money will follow.
The money will follow 100%. Yeah. And I would love to hear your perspective on being a growth oriented company. How are most of these patients, since they are coming to you voluntarily, how are they usually finding out about you? Is it referrals? Is there a lot of digital marketing? And how do you see that to keep the growth of the company steadily and also at a pace that you would like it to be?
Exactly. Very, very good question. It's all the above. Word of mouth. We have number of patients, we get a lot of patients from word of mouth because we give them a good service. So they refer
Yeah.
other people. They think they may be needing help. But, we do the assessment first to make sure, they are in need of a psychiatric clinic or a
Yeah.
therapy clinic because we do all the above. We do therapy, we do nurse management, we do
Hmm. Depends.
Depends upon the situation. So, yeah. So then we also do digital marketing. We also do, a lot of times, a lot of insurances, because you see, there are very few psychiatric clinics. Psychiatric clinics. Now, psychiatric clinic meaning to say where the medicines are prescribed. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
a behavioral health or mental health, it may be a therapy clinic. It may
Mm.
be a psychologist clinic where they don't prescribe any medication. We do all the above.
Mm-hmm.
We have, those licensed, psychologists and therapists and the med management providers. So yeah, we get, from word of mouth, we get from insurances who we credential with. And because there are lots and lots of like outpatient mental health clinics, they don't really take insurance.
Mm.
They do not take insurance. And that's why, where will these patients go? Because, they do private, self-pay, private pay. Those are very expensive,
Yeah.
very, very expensive. So that's one of the other key of our growth. If we were only a self-pay or private pay clinic, I don't think we would have had the growth that we are seeing or we
Mm.
continue to see by the grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
That we have so many things on the table that we want to do. We don't think
Mm-hmm.
so that we can do that. We would be able to do that because there is not a whole lot of, uh, patients who can, give a self-pay money for every session, for every appointment. So
Yeah.
that is all the above. We get, we have a, pretty good building in a very busy road on a very busy, location. We
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of traffic in front of our building. We have, so, the sign, we have a 12,000 square feet building, 2 floors, 6,000
Uh-huh.
each. And that's dedicated only for mental health or behavioral health.
Yeah.
So, and we have a big sign. So that's also part of our
Mm-hmm.
advertisement part of our, promotion. So yeah,
Yeah.
we get all the above.
Oh,
We don't
interesting.
take,
And
any
of course.
advertising, any promotion for granted. Yesterday,
Of
we
course.
had an open house. I know this is the first time that because we are growing and we are, bringing more and more services into the business. So yesterday it was very, very well attended. So from the community, that we do prospecting, we do marketing, we do digital marketing, we
Yeah.
do all the above.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's nice. It's refreshing to hear about a business that is doing all of them. So many of the companies that I talk to, you'd be surprised, are doing one or they're doing the other, or they just rely on word of mouth, whatever it might be. And I wonder for you guys, what are some challenges around there? Is there or are there any challenges when it comes to possibly the digital or possibly the referral doesn't seem to be a challenge because it seems like you guys are good at what you do, so then people tell more people, but what are some challenges when it comes to the client acquisition, to keep that growing as much as possible, but also, as you said, educate them on the benefits that they will have by coming to you as opposed to coming to someone else, for example the insurance and other things like that as well.
Um, well, all the patients, I mean, they are volunteers. I mean, they
Of
can
course.
go to anywhere they want. I mean,
Yeah.
we get a lot of patients from other other mental health, behavioral health, or psychiatric clinics. Those clinics do one, not the other.
Mm.
So if they're doing meds management, they don't provide TMS.
Mm-hmm.
If they are doing esketamine or ketamine or therapy or psychological services, they don't do other meds management. So that's why not every of our patient get all our services. There are number of patients, not a big, huge number of patients who get when if medical necessity warrants that, if medical necessity, uh, you know, justifies that, then of course they get other services also. But then
Mm-hmm.
there are patients who just get one service from us.
Of
They just
course.
come. They just come to us for their therapy.
Mm-hmm.
They just come to us for the TMS therapy.
Of course.
They just come to us for meds management because they
Mm-hmm.
have their own psychologist, they have their own therapist, they have their own psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I mean, not necessarily that they get all. So we get referrals in that way also, and so this is how we do it.
Mm-hmm. And I'd love to hear from you. What do you think is the hardest part of growing your business? Of course, there are so many aspects of growing your business. There's the client acquisition, there's the operations, there's the systems, there's everything that builds a business to what it is that allows it to keep growing. But for you, if you had a magic wand, Sohail, that you could just wave and you can solve one thing, one obstacle, one challenge, whatever it might be, that would allow you to hit all your growth goals, the revenue targets, the impact targets of helping more patients. You just wave that wand, your wish
Okay.
happens. What would you wish?
Yeah, very good question. If you allow me, you see, Jerome, if you are in business, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'll answer your question, that magic wand thing. I will answer
Okay.
you. I mean, that's my magic wand. Believe you me, that's my number one. If you ask me what is my pleasure and what is my pain, I'll tell you. Share that with you in a second. But
Okay.
the thing is that if you are in any business, this business or any other business, I have other businesses also. But if you talk about one any business, if there is a business, there's a problem.
Yep.
You call it opportunities, you call it challenges, some people call it problems. I call it opportunities. Call it, learning opportunity, growth opportunity, basically expansion opportunity. So there is not such a thing is called that there is no problem. No,
Mm-hmm.
problems are there. That's why we are in business. And thank God that I'm there to being in the management that I regard myself as a management guru, I'm there to resolve them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not all, there is a big, by the grace of God, there's a very huge team that I have who resolves all these problems on a daily or challenges or opportunities on a daily basis. So
Yep.
when there is a business, that means problems, that
Yep.
means challenges, that means opportunity. There is not such a thing. So I love the challenges. I love the opportunity. As far as the magic wand is concerned, my biggest pain or concern is the human resources,
Hmm.
especially, finding the talented, professionals in the medical industry. And for that matter, finding, psychiatrists. I
Mm-hmm.
can hire one or two psychiatrists as we speak. I can hire,
Mm-hmm.
one or two or three or four, maybe
Mm-hmm.
more mid levels. I mean, mid levels meaning to say
Mm-hmm.
physician assistants or psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, both certified. I can hire a number of therapists as I speak. I can
Yeah.
hire a number of psychologists. So the growth is there. So that's my biggest challenge. But finding them and
Mm.
finding the talented people is a challenge for us. Is a
Mm-hmm.
challenge because you see there are people who are coming even with experience, and we have a very tedious, of course, some people call it very tedious, but we love it, we like it, onboarding process
Yeah.
before we bring in anybody on our in the team,
Yeah.
regardless whether they be in the support team member, whether they are sitting in the front desk, or they are
Mm-hmm.
in the appointment team, or whether they be in the medical assistants or whatnot. We have a very tedious onboarding process for our uh, from top to bottom, from bottom to top. So
Mm-hmm.
finding that talented people, human resources, especially in the medical industry, is one of our biggest challenge, and that's
Mm.
my biggest pain. If I can have a magic wand you told me about, and I can continue to, swing it, hey, after 6 months, I need more. After 3 months, I need more. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, that will help me grow. But, we are growing. We feel that always it is 3 steps first, 4 steps forward, and 1 step backwards. And that's how we continue to break the ceiling.
Mm.
This is how we do it.
Yeah.
It's whenever we continue to grow, move, and then we, say, okay, there is a correction phase, and there's a problem phase, there's an opportunity phase, and we feel, oh, we cannot go no further. So we take a step back,
Yeah.
and then boom, we break that ceiling.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That reminds me of something that I've heard. It's called the theory of constraints, and that's how I like to look at my business as well, and obviously the businesses that we work with, which is every business has at all moments many constraints, but there's one constraint that if you solve will allow for so much growth, and then you'll find the next constraint, and then you have to analyze again and then solve that one, and then you'll find more growth, and then the next constraint. So there's always many constraints, but there's one that will unlock so much growth, which sounds exactly as what you were just mentioning. It's take that 4 steps forward, but take that one step back. Just really analyze what is that constraint? How can you fix it? Can you fix it? Great. Boom. Get the growth. So that's really, really awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I have one final question for you here, Sohail, which is actually not a question from me. It's a question from my last guest to you, and they had no idea who you were. So are you ready for the question?
Yes, sir.
Here's the question. How do you really build a winning culture?
Very, very good question, and extremely, helpful and healthy question, actually. I believe don't confuse your team.
Mm.
Create the expectations. And one of the biggest thing, one of the thing that, I mean, we have a lot of things that we share when we bring on anybody to the team. We, tell them the expectations. We tell them
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, what is our, you know, what do we expect from you? And it's not just I'm expecting from you, you should be expecting the same from me. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just, and I tell them, hey, listen, if I'm pointing a finger at you, remember, three fingers are pointing at me. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm asking you something, that means I'm asking myself, I'm talking to myself three times more than I'm just talking to you. So number one, I tell them, hey, we cannot work with amateurs. Don't expect me to be an amateur, and I cannot work with amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
With the same token, I also tell them, hey, I cannot work with experts too. Don't expect that I'm expecting you to be the expert. And don't expect that I'm an expert.
Mm-hmm.
What I need from you and what you should be expecting me to be with you is to be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you know, and you also know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a mistake, it's okay. Try not to make that same mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe second time, maybe. But don't make it a third time, fourth time, fifth time. This is the same as then you become an amateur.
Yeah.
Because if you're physically sitting in front of me or physically in your office, but you're taking a flight somewhere else mentally, that will create a challenge. That
Yeah.
will create a problem. So this is the winning culture is create the expectations. You know,
Mm-hmm.
tell them, hey, we work with you. We don't work, you don't work for me, I don't work for you. But we work with each other.
Mm.
We work with each other. We don't
Yeah.
work for each other. We work with each other. So the winning culture is a create the expectation. The sooner the expectations, what is their role, and the other thing is also who's perfect.
Yeah. God, that's it.
Nobody. Yeah,
Yeah.
God is perfect. Yeah. So I'm not expecting you to be an expert. I'm not expecting you to be perfect.
Of
But what
course.
I'm expecting you to be adaptable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you
That's
set
it.
those expectations
Yeah.
in the onboarding before that even happens. So then when they're
Yeah.
through, like it's that two-way street, as you were saying. I
In
ask you, but
fact, believe you me, believe you me, Jom, I tell them, in fact, I tell them, I mean, I tell them a lot of other things, but I tell them, listen, if you want, you can record me.
Mm,
Play that recording after 3 months. Play that recording after 6 months. I want you to come back to me, Sohail, this is what you said, and this is not how it is. I
mm-hmm.
said, no, just remember all these things that I'm telling you. And I said, most likely the reason that I'm talking to you, because if a person is sitting in front of me, they have also gone through a lot of hoops. They have already gone through a lot of hoops. So they may be coming for the final interview to me, or maybe something like that. So I
Yeah.
tell them, whatever I'm telling you, no matter where you are in life or which part of the world you are in, these things are universal. You can
Hmm.
apply them anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that you apply this with me. In fact, if you are married, if you have kids, apply the same principle to your kids.
Yeah.
Instill these things into your kids. I said, ask them to be adaptable. You know, yeah, don't dwell on it. Don't dwell the thing. Accept the things the way they are and move on.
Amazing. I love that. Sahil, thank you so much for your time. This has been such an insightful and wisdom filled conversation. So thank you for that. Where should people go if they want to learn a little bit more about you, or of course a little bit more about Mid City Psychiatry?
I truly appreciate the time, Jerome. I thank you so much for having me on your podcast, and I don't take it lightly. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. I'll of course leave everything down below here, all the links for Mid City Psychiatry, the website, and everything else. If you are listening and want to check that out, and if you're still listening in and want to hear more conversations like this, please subscribe below, and I will see you on the next podcast. Thank you so much, Sohail.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.